Hey everyone, welcome to another MLM Dumpster Fire. Today we're here to watch someone who is very well known on my channel, Faith Drew. She's a influencer, whatever. She joined Monat like 3 years ago, I think, and she's successful now because she had a following and she recruited those people into her team. So let's just get right into it. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed the video. And as always, big shout out to my channel members. Thank you guys for being here. Let's just get right into this.
Hello. I am so excited for this call. I'm going to be going live with my friend, Abby Tamarin. Well, now Abby Benson. I can't keep it straight. She recently got married, but we are going to be chatting all things monat. What you need to know, breaking it down, like the nitty gritty, getting right to it. We'll share a little bit about our stories, but then we're going to dive into the products, how to make money, all the things. So if you have been considering joining the business, this is the call for you. And sometimes it takes a minute.
At least she knows not to talk.
Hi. Oh my gosh, the hair.
It's so humid in Georgia. I think it's helping.
It's fluffy. It is everywhere, and I'm obsessed with it.
Oh my gosh. Hello. I love that you do this in your room.
I know. So did you know that I sort of like sprained my ankle before?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So before our last trip, we were just in Punta Cana. I'm like trying to drag my luggage down the outdoor steps. It was pitch black. My flight was at like 6 a.m. And I tripped and I sprained what I thought was just my ankle. But now I'm thinking I messed up my knee because like I can't even sit right. Like still, it's been almost a month.
Yikes. Yeah, you probably.
Have you seen the doctor? Did it occur to you that maybe you should see someone about that? An injury? No? I guess going to a doctor or a medical professional is not something that MLM Huns like to advise or practice? Practice? Do, whatever. You know what I mean.
You go to a doctor.
I guess that's what being in like your mid 30s, that's what happens. But no, I know it's so silly that I'm always sitting on my bedroom floor.
I love it.
I need to get a desk, but this is just like the windows in this house. My house was built, I think, in like the 80s. And I have these like super tall, skinny windows. So the windowsill is like down at the ground. And so that's just what I use. Like, and I actually love to bring this up because I think so many people, they hesitate to start because they think they need to have the setup. They need to be a content creator. They need to have all the gadgets and the tools and whatever. And this is literally how I do it. I sit on my bedroom floor, I put my phone up into the window, and then I just go.
That's literally all you need to do. And the lighting is phenomenal. So
that's all that matters.
Yeah.
You find one place around your house that has good lighting. This is what I teach all the girls on my team, and whenever we do like corporate trainings on social media, I'm like, just there's got to be one place in your house you can film in or go in.
Actually, to be successful in an MLM, you have to have a huge following on social media, like Faith had, I already mentioned that, or you have to join the MLM early. So yeah, the lighting, it doesn't matter. I'm sitting on my floor as well. I have windows. I'm just using natural light, which it's getting late, so it's gonna get dark soon, so I will let them speak. But yeah, you just have to have like a lot of people that you can reach to and that you can recruit them into your team to be successful in an MLM, because all MLMs, unless it's a new MLM, they're oversaturated at this point, and the majority of people are just not going to be successful. The majority of people don't make any profit as well, so I'm gonna link the income disclosure statement from Monat in the description box below if you're new here. If you want to check that out, you will see that the majority of people are not profiting. So there's that.
Your car, like, yeah, we have to stop overthinking the whole thing. But yeah, anyways, I want to keep this like super jam-packed, filled with info, but I'd love if you could first just share like a mini version of your story, like how long you've been with Monat, what it's done for you, where you were before, where you are now.
Yes. So hello, Two-Face followers. If you do not know who I am Abby Tamarin, Abby Benson, like you were saying. But I actually have been with Monat for 6 years now. And I actually started with no social media experience, no sales experience, no marketing experience, nothing like that. I had no idea really how to do anything. I had less than 300 followers at the time on social media, and I was a full-time bartender, a full-time intern, and a full-time student. So I was working over 100 hours a week before I started this. And one thing I knew for sure was like nothing changes if nothing changes. And so I needed some change in my life because I was still waking up with negative bank accounts. I was still taking food from work, all the things. I needed something. Like I needed something to change, right? And so I ended up after a lot.
Maybe you're spending too much. Maybe you're living beyond your means. Like if you have that many jobs, I guess maybe she had debt or whatnot, but I would take that with a grain of salt. I'm just saying.
Of months of skepticism saying yes to this, which I wish I would have said sooner. But fast forward 6 years later, I went from living in really small apartments, almost $100,000 in debt, to being debt free, to now living on a beautiful 6-acre piece of land. My husband is military, so it's so nice to have a flexible income when we have to pick up and leave and PCS to different places and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, we are like we want to have a family now, so we want to be able to prepare financially for that as well. And he can retire at any time. I could retire him whenever he wanted to, but he truly loves what he does so much, and it's so nice for him to be able to work.
Except he would not retire, he would quit the job. He would quit his job. You can't just retire at any age, but you can quit your job at any age.
Work the job he wants to work, while also us not having to worry about money and stuff like that. And I think like it has completely, I only started this for an extra $500 a month. I am now an almost 7-figure earner. I've earned over 15 trips with the company. I've qualified for my Cadillac. I'm a visionary founder. I have a global team. I know like Faith has a huge German team. I have a huge German team. Like it's crazy to think how much has changed in that time period. If I had not said yes to this, I don't know where I would be. And so the fact that it has like 180'd my life and I came into it not thinking it was going to do this much is crazy. And I know you kind of have a similar scenario.
100%. There's no way that I ever imagined this business turning into what it has. When I joined, I was in a very different season of life than Abby, but also like almost just as busy, I could imagine. I had a newborn and a toddler. I was working a part-time job from home that I used to do full-time. Once I became a mom, I went down to part-time from home. I also was an aspiring content creator, so I was doing brand deals and posting on YouTube twice a week, Instagram every day. And we had also just moved. So I had a lot going on, and I had been thinking about joining for quite a while, but funny enough, like the reason I didn't was because of the money. Like I didn't have the money to start or whatever. And in retrospect, it's like, oh my gosh, if you would have just started sooner, you would have had even more money. Like if your concern is, oh, I can't even like afford the shampoo, then that's exactly why you need to get in and do the business. Because girl, like looking back at myself, I'm like, I couldn't even buy a coffee without feeling guilty. Like that's how tight we were on money, going from 2 full incomes down to basically 1, because my part-time job was like, it cut my income probably like by 75%, if not more. So when I joined, I truthfully thought this was going to be just another brand deal where maybe I would make like, I don't know, a couple $100 a month, enough to buy that coffee without feeling guilty. I never ever thought it would turn into what it has. But here's what happened. I
don't mean to be rude or like insensitive, but it sounds like she had like a priority issue. Like if you're having such a hard time financially and whatnot, and all you're thinking about is buying coffee outside. You can just buy supermarket coffee and just drink that, you know? I don't know. Maybe I'm just being judgmental because it's Faith True. I'm not a fan.
Joined. I bought my product pack, tried the products, fell in love with the products, which I'm going to ask Abby to speak on next because she's a product expert and she can share about that. But I bought them, I tried them, I had belief in the products. And I had never had anything like that with a brand before. I never was like so obsessed that I had to shout it from the rooftops. And I think that that's really important. So we're going to get into that. But tried them, loved them. Within my first couple weeks, had a couple girls, just like people you'd never think. And this is, again, going back to like people's objections, like, I don't even know who would buy from me is one thing I hear all the time. My first couple customers were just like people that I had somehow like was an acquaintance with here and there. Like, it's just, it blows my mind. It's crazy. You don't realize how many people are going to need these products and want them. So if you're concerned about who would even buy from you, like, don't be worried about that. So got my first paycheck and I was expecting like $5.
We're just ignoring the fact that these Monat products are super expensive, and a lot of the people maybe even want to buy Monat, but they just can't afford to buy these products. So there's also that.
And not that it was life-changing, but I think it was like 50, and it was at least 10 times more than what I was expecting. And that's when I dove into the compensation plan. I was like, wait, because I didn't even like know anything yet. I literally just joined for the products. Like I said, I had a newborn, so I was in that postpartum hair loss phase. I really needed the products, and I hadn't looked into the business or the comp plan or anything like that at all. So once I got my first paycheck, I did that, and it made so much sense to me once I understood what direct sales was and what network marketing is, because it basically takes out the middleman. So with any other sort of brand deal, like, let's talk about even just like to know it, right? There's the brand, but then they have to pay.
Yes, exactly. It takes out the middleman, because you are the middleman. As an MLM distributor, you're the middleman, and the majority of you people, MLM distributors, are not getting paid for being the middleman. So you're just like free advertisement for the MLM company. They're not even, maybe you're getting paychecks, but like I said, the majority of people don't even profit in MLMs, and the income disclosure statements prove that. There's also my other sources from the FTC. They're all linked down below. You can take a look at it if you're new.
The commissions too, they're paying some fee to be on Like to Know It, so that's taking out of your paycheck. Like to Know It is eating a lot of that. That brand also is in storefronts. They are paying for celebrity endorsements. Like, there's so many other little things taking out of what they can pay a content creator. Whereas with network marketing or direct sales, whatever you want to call it, it's simply direct to consumer. The brand does not invest in these like huge marketing campaigns with celebrity endorsements. They don't pay for content creators to do.
Yeah, because they have hundreds of thousands of people who are going to advertise them for free. So they don't really need to do that, don't they?
Do things. We are not in stores. So all of that goes into product formulation, which is why our products are so amazing, and our compensation plan. And so that
compensation plan that only pays top 1% or less of the Monat distributors. Love that. Thank you, Drew. Did I call her Drew? Face Drew, I guess. I guess it's correct, right?
That's why here at Monat, you can earn up to 45% commission, actually 60% on TikTok, which is insane. And that's like a topic for a whole nother call, because that's just what we should really do something on that and talk about TikToks separately. But that is why you can earn so much more here than your like 4%, 10% commissions from brand deals, affiliate links, and things like that. And so once I understood that, I decided to go all in. And by all in, I mean, I wanted to build a business here. And so every single day, I talked about it on social media. If I knew somebody personally that I thought would be really good at the business, I invited them to check it out simply by like sharing a call like this with them, right? It doesn't have to be weird. It's just inviting them to the opportunity. And long story short, within my first year of business, I had replaced what my full-time corporate income had been. Prior to kids, I was able to leave the part-time job. 2 years in, I hit our 100K club.
Because you had a following, again, because you had a following on social media, and you were able to recruit your followers into this MLM. People who are joining now who don't have a following on social media, they're not going to be successful. So there is that little detail that we're not mentioning. I did watch some videos from Faith. Was it Faith or was it someone else? I don't remember now anymore, but they were talking about like the Instagram following and how it's not true that they're successful in an MLM because of their followers, but they absolutely are. That's just yikes when they say that.
Meaning I had earned $100,000 in commissions. And now 3 years in, it's like just skyrocketing. And I mean, both of us are on our way to the $1 million club in this business. And I think the biggest takeaway I want anyone on this call to grasp is neither of us thought that this would be where we are. So this is why you should start, because you never know. You literally never know what could happen. But Abby, feel free.
I mean, for an MLM, again, you can know. If you don't have a following on social media and if you're not joining a new MLM company, you're never going to be successful. In fact, you have 99% of chances of never making any profit. So there's that little issue.
To piggyback off of any of that, or dive into a little bit of product education. And we don't have to go on too long, but just like the main things that make Monat different and why it's such a simple product to sell.
Yeah. So just like going back off of like real quick, the commissions, I did not realize how little content creators make until I started getting like offers, because now I have like almost 700,000 on TikTok, and now I have like, I don't know how much.
That is not true. I mean, depends what you do, but if you're doing YouTube and if your YouTube is doing well and if you have like channel memberships and whatnot, you can get good money off of that. Maybe on Instagram from affiliate stuff, if you don't have a lot of followers and whatnot, you're not earning that much money. But like, it's really not that simple. Like, oh, content creators, come on. Like, YouTube pays so well. There's so many bigger content creators who earn a shit ton of money through YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and whatnot.
On Instagram, 300 something, whatever. But now like seeing like, oh, you get 0.3 like 3%. I'm like, whoa, wait, what? And I like linked my like to know it and Amazon, but compared to like direct sales, it's not like there is no comparison. Like if you're trying to make money online, direct sales and content creation go hand in hand. But anyways, let me talk a little bit about the product. So I actually...
How do they go hand in hand when the majority of people don't make any profit? I forgot her name already. Anyway.
I got my certification in hair and scalp health. 3 years into my business, I started becoming really interested on the science behind these products, why they worked, why they performed. And just like Faith said, we get so much money back to product formulation. Like no other company I have ever seen in my whole entire life where their users are constantly accused of extensions, like left and right accused of extensions, because the products perform, they work, they're so good. And we had a whole scientific advisory board to help us formulate these products, you know. The head of who...
Can you imagine like being on like an interview for a job or something, and then somebody says this is not an interview, this is an opportunity call, but like imagine somebody trying to sell you a opportunity by saying, people accuse us of having hair extensions all the time because the products are so good. Oh, that's so ridiculous. And I'm professional too.
Was it the head of L'Oreal, of the science department in L'Oreal, like the director of, what was he, director of
R&D or something, like research and development?
Yeah, research and development of L'Oreal is now with money because the products are so good. They're
motherfucker, is that true? He went from L'Oreal to Monat?
So innovative. We started focusing on scalp health before any other company did, all the way back in 2014. Now you guys are seeing it so big now because we kind of started that revolution. And, you know, I've studied probably over 15,000 hours worth of research when it comes to formulations and why things work the way they do on your hair and your scalp. And it's honestly so incredible. There's nothing like these products on the market. We have so many real results from real people. I can't tell you guys the amount of like crazy brands, like brands that are very well known that you know of, have reached out to me asking for me to promote their product, but I never used it to get my transformation. And that's why this makes sense, is because you're going to show your journey on the way with these products. And that's like, people want to see the journey. They don't want to see the end result. So many people, you guys will see, like, I am less likely to trust somebody who says, oh my gosh, this product's amazing, and then the next week they're like, oh my gosh, this product's amazing, versus somebody who's consistent with one product line. And it does, like, the compensation plan is incredible, right? We have actually over like 100 different products for all different hair types.
Faith looks like she doesn't want to be there. Sorry, I keep looking at my phone behind the mirror because sometimes it stops recording, so I forget to look at the lens. But Faith Drew looks like she doesn't want to be there. And I'll tell you one thing, I don't want to be here either. So I feel you, Faith.
So it's all customizable. We do have skincare and wellness. Both Faith and I talk more about the hair care though. And with the hair care, with that being said, I know there are a lot of direct sales companies, guys. There's so many, right? There's so many skincare companies. There's so many makeup companies. There's so many oil companies. There's so many wellness companies. There is only one hair care company. There's only one hair care company, and that's Monat. Nobody else can say that. We started with hair care. The company, like nothing compares, and it's also a simple product. We're not asking people to do a whole lifestyle.
Maybe you should say MLM company because there's a lot of hair care companies out there in the world that are not MLM, that are not scammy companies, in my opinion.
Change, right? It's something everybody's already shampooing their hair. You're not asking people to all of a sudden, you know, want to be more healthy. You're not asking people to all of a sudden wanting to switch out all of their, you know, cleaning products. Like you're just offering a solution with something people already use. It's also a consumable product, meaning people use it and then it goes down the drain, so they have to rebuy it. I don't know if anybody like has watched Shark Tank on here. That's like Hunter and I's show. But they're always asking, like, is it just a one-time buy or is it a consumable product where people are going to keep coming back? Because that's where the sustainability comes from, and people do keep coming back. I can say that every month I do about $50,000 in sales by myself because people love the product. They see the product perform. They want to know more.
And you have a following on social media, and that's why you have so many customers. So Faith doesn't want to be here, and I don't want to be here either. I have to wrap that one up here. I mean, we're more than halfway into the video, but I think we've heard enough. Let me know your thoughts below. I do have to cut this short a little bit, sorry, because mental health. Make sure to take care of your mental health and take breaks when you need them. Let me know down below your opinion on this, your thoughts. Don't forget to click the like button if you enjoyed the video, and as always, big shout out to my channel members. Thank you guys for being here, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.